Jai Mata Di. Today I have taken a topic when Saturn transit gives shocking jerk, a must-know transit rule. Very interesting transit rule. It is difficult to get any elsewhere easily. It is a very result-giving transit rule. The reason why I have given the title of this presentation is when Saturn transit gives shocking jerks, a must-know transit rule. Rule I have simplified so that anybody can understand it easily. Rule I have simplified for all. The rule simplified and explained step by step. Remain attached to me until the end of this video. This video will not be very lengthy, but I will be revealing the jewel gems of how to examine transit Saturn in a horoscope. These are called jewels, gems. Once you know, it will come in your use throughout your life, and these are all result giving research rules. You can say in astrological term Sutra, but you have to remain attached until the end of the video. Rule simplified and explained step by step. Step 1. What you have to do first. I will read slowly. You can jot down on a piece of paper also, or you can revisit the video, pause the video, note down the relevant point afterward also. You can revisit the video and pause the video, can jot down the points later on also. No harm, there is no problem. Step 1. Note the 8th lord from any house of your choice. The 8th lord from any house of your choice. For example, the 8th lord from the 4th house of mother is 11th lord. 4th lord from the 8th lord from the 4th house of mother is the 8th lord. 11th lord is the 8th lord from the 4th house of mother. Similarly, 4th house is the 11th house, and the 4th lord is the 11th lord from the 9th house of father. 11th lord is the 8th lord in the case of 4th house of mother. 4th lord is the 8th lord from the 9th house of father, and accordingly you can find out 8th lord from the 10th house also. The 5th lord is the 8th lord from the 10th house of your professional career. Likewise, twelfth lord is the 8th lord from the 5th house of your progeny. Second lord is the 8th lord from the 7th house of your spouse. First step, you jot down this, because this is going to hard whenever Saturn, I will tell the rule, I will explain the rule. It is not direct, don't directly apply. It is to be applied through Navamsha only. Now step 2. Note the Navamsha sign and the Navamsha Lord of the above 8th Lord. Means, if you want to know when the bedtime for your mother is likely to come, you first identify the 4th house. From the 4th house, the 8th house is 11th house, and the 11th Lord is the 8th Lord from the 4th house of mother. Now, in the Navamsha, locate that 8th Lord, means 11th Lord, who is the 8th Lord from the 4th house of mother in the Navamsha, and also identify the Navamsha Lord of that 8th Lord. Jot down and then take this sign and the Lord to the birth chart. It is the second step only I have explained. Now the third step. Now mark the Navamsha sign and the Navamsha Lord of such an 8th Lord in the birth chart. 8th Lord means the Navamsha Lord of the 8th Lord. Navamsha Lord of the 8th Lord from any sign, any house. If you want to know when you are likely to fall seriously ill, you jot down the 8th Lord of your birth chart, take him to the Navamsha chart, note down the Navamsha sign in which your 8th Lord is located, and jot down the Navamsha Lord. Bring that Navamsha Lord to the birth chart by not retaining his sign, Navamsha sign. Wherever it is in the birth chart, let it be there. But you have to identify who is the Navamsha Lord of the 8th Lord and what is the Navamsha sign of the 8th Lord. Got my point? Still, if there is any doubt, you can revisit this video. Everything is in black and white. You can jot down the point, including my presentation, including my delivery. Whatever I am talking, you can jot it down. Pause the video, jot it down. In case of any further doubt, I have tried to explain as far as possible. I think by now everybody could know what the rule want to convey. Rule or Sutra. In astrology we call rule as Sutra. Sutra is a Sanskrit word of rule. Now the rule I am describing, whatever I have written. Whenever Saturn transits the trine sign from the Navamsha sign or the Navamsha Lord of such an 8th Lord, Navamsha Lord of the 8th Lord from any house, Navamsha Lord and Navamsha sign of the 8th Lord from any sign of your choice in the birth chart, not in the Navamsha chart, in the birth chart. Adverse results pertaining to the significations of the house concerned will occur when Saturn will transit through the trine, 5, 9 or influence that house or that sign. Adverse result will occur, and it can be fatal also. We have to jot down. It can be fatal also. Fatal something fatal may happen, or something adverse may happen. I will explain with horoscope also. I do not leave the thing half done. I always show all the rules on the horoscope and on the horoscope of known personality, and not like somebody unknown like me, or of that my client who seek astrological advice from me, albeit free of cost. I don't take any money for astrological consultation. So, got my point? Some summary you have got. Suppose you want to know when you are likely to fall ill, or when your mother is likely to fall ill, when your father is likely to fall ill, when your children is likely to fall ill, you just jot down the 8th lord from the respective house. Take it to the Navamsha. Jot down the Navamsha occupied by the 8th lord, Navamsha sign, and the Navamsha lord of that 8th lord. Bring it to the birth horoscope. Retain it in the same position in the birth horoscope and mark the Navamsha sign of such an 8th lord. When Saturn will transit trine from such an 8th lord or the Navamsha sign of such an 8th lord, 5 or 9, when Saturn will visit 5 or 9 house, 5 or 9 sign, tiny sign, 5th or 9th sign, or directly influence any of the sign or the lord, adverse result will surface depending on the dosha promise. If the dosha is that of fatal planets, then fatality will come. If the dosha planet has promise of just to give some minor illness, serious illness, that will take place. Got my point? Let us proceed. For example, Cancer is the 10th house of profession, means karma, for a Libra Ascendant native. From Libra, the 10th house is Cancer and Moon is the Lord. The 8th house from the 10th house of profession will be Aquarius, the 5th house, with Saturn as the 8th lord or the 5th lord from the 10th house of Cancer. In case of Libra native, the 5th house is the 8th house from the 10th house of profession, and Saturn is the 8th lord from the 10th house of Cancer for his Aquarius lordship. Saturn is Jugokarako for Libra native, being 5th and 9th lord, 4th and 5th lord, but it will not spare Libra native in their profession. If in case when the Saturn will transit the trine sign from the Navamsha lord of the 5th lord or the Navamsha sign or the trine sign, any trine sign from the Navamsha sign of the Saturn Mahadasha will bring crisis, professional crisis in your life, depending on the Dasha promise. You may lose the job, or the period will remain very hostile from the professional angle. I will again reread because in between I had gone to explain the thing. For example, Cancer is the 10th house of profession for a Libra Ascendant native. The 8th house from the 10th house will be Aquarius, the natal 5th house, with Saturn as the 8th lord from the 10th house of Cancer. Now, supposedly, Saturn is in Gemini in Navamsha, and Mercury is the Navamsha lord of Saturn. Automatically, if Saturn is in Gemini, Mercury will be the Navamsha lord of Saturn. Hypothetically, it is example only. Now, again, hypothetically, Mercury, the Navamsha lord of the 8th lord Saturn from the 10th house, is also in the 10th house of Cancer. Mercury is in the 10th house as the Navamsha lord of Saturn, who is the 8th lord from the 10th house of profession. Whenever Saturn will transit the trine signs, 5-9, trine signs are 5-9, either from Gemini or Cancer, Gemini is the Navamsha sign of the 8th lord Saturn from the 10th house, and Cancer, where the Navamsha lord of the 8th lord from the 10th house of profession in the case of Libra native is positive. So, Cancer in the birth sign would be the crucial sign. In the example, or influences the Gemini sign or Cancer sign, adverse results concerning profession and mother-in-law. 10th house is the 4th house of mother from the 7th house of spouse will be experienced. Either your mother-in-law will fall ill, she may die also, depending on the dasha promise in your horoscope, or some crisis will come in your professional life, depending on the dasha promise. But something adverse is definitely going to take place. The page will not be comfortable. Should I again read it? I think it is not required. In case you are still unclear about this particular paragraph, example paragraph, you can revisit the video, pause the video, jot down the thing, or read the thing once again. For further clarity, let us apply this transit rule to a horoscope. Horoscope of Srimati Indira Gandhi, a former Prime Minister of India. It is her horoscope. By now, I think everybody has become accustomed with the horoscope of Srimati Indira Gandhi, because I often discuss on her horoscope. It is most accurate and reliable horoscope. Every astrologer uses this horoscope for research purpose, for illustration and everything. It is most reliable horoscope. Horoscope of Srimati Indira Gandhi and the Independence Day horoscope of India. The two most reliable horoscope. Independence Day horoscope of India and horoscope of Srimati Indira Gandhi. The two most reliable and accurate horoscope. I think I need not narrate everything in this horoscope, because everything is now dependent on Navamsha. It is the Navamsha horoscope. Just glance through. I will come back to the birth chart as well as Navamsha according to the event. I will come back and show. Shocking event, because 8th house related things are always shocking event. It gives shock. Shocking jerk. Shocking event. Death of mother on 28 February 1936 means Srimati Indira Gandhi lost her mother on 28 February 1936. The 8th house from the 4th house of mother is 11th house of Taurus in the birth chart of the native, with Venus as the 8th lord from the 4th house of the mother-in-law. Of the mother in Libra, slip of tongue. Of the mother in Libra. In Navamsha, Venus is in Libra. In Navamsha, Venus is in Libra, with Venus as the Navamsha lord of the natal Venus. Means its Navamsha lord is also Venus. Navamsha lord of Venus is the Venus in Libra sign. In birth chart, Venus, who is the Navamsha lord of Venus, is in Sagittarius. On the day of the death of her mother, Saturn was transiting through Aquarius, which is the trine 5th house from the Navamsha sign occupied by Venus in Libra. An adverse result pertaining to the 4th house significations was delivered by the transit Saturn. The rule applies. Now let us revisit the birth horoscope and the Navamsha to see it on practical ground. See, Ascendant is Cancer, 2nd house is Leo, 3rd house is Virgo, 4th house of mother is Libra. Isn't it? Then who is the sign lord of Libra? Venus. From 4th house, what will be the 8th house? From 4th house, Libra, what is the 8th house? It is Taurus. Again Libra. Again Venus. 4th lord is Venus. From both the 4th house, the 8th house is Taurus, again ruled by Venus. It is the 7th sign is Aries, 8th sign is Taurus. So we have to examine Venus for in the Navamsha, for his Navamsha sign and for his Navamsha lord. Let us go to the Navamsha horoscope. You see, Venus is in the Libra sign. Venus is in the Libra sign. Difficulty to understand. It is the Aries, Pisces. Pisces is the ascendant. Taurus is the Aries is the 2nd house. Taurus is the 3rd house. Gemini is the 4th house. Cancer is the 5th house. Leo is the 6th house. Virgo is the 7th house. And Libra is the 8th house. It is the Libra sign. It doesn't matter. I have just showed you from the ascendant. It is the Libra sign. After Virgo, Libra comes. Venus is in Libra. Venus, who is the 8th lord from the 4th house of Libra, is Venus for his Taurus lordship. from Taurus, for Taurus, Venus is 8th Lord also. From Lagna, from Libra, Venus is the 8th Lord also for his Taurus Lordship. So Venus is in Libra. We have got the Navamsha sign of Venus. Now we have to come back to the birth horoscope. We have to mark Libra sign. It is the Libra sign. Venus is in Sagittarius. We will not disturb the Venus. We will not remove the Venus as per his Navamsha chart. We will retain the Venus in the birth chart as it is. We will not disturb the Venus. What we have read on the day Srimati Indira Gandhi lost her mother, transit Saturn was in Aquarius. You can check it also. I have given the date. According to the date, just give a search. You will get on that date where Saturn was. It is so easy. It is very easy. You can cross-check also my statement, whether it is wrong or right. Please cross-check. Please cross-check. I will stress upon to cross-check. No need to believe me blindly. Please cross-check. Saturn was transiting through Aquarius. From Libra, the Aquarius is the trine fifth sign. And she lost her mother. Seen from the Navamsha sign of the 8th Lord, from the 4th house is Venus, and the Navamsha sign of Venus from 4th house, the 8th Lord is Venus. The Navamsha sign of Venus is Libra, and Saturn was transit in Aquarius, which is the trine sign, 5th house or 5th sign from Libra. The rule applies in this case. On 28th February 1936, the date of the day of her death of her mother, Saturn was transiting in Aquarius. Please cross-check. Shocking event. Another shocking event. Death of husband on 8th September 1960. The 8th house from the 7th house of spouse is the 2nd house of Leo. With Cancer Ascendant, the 7th house is Capricorn, and from Capricorn, the 8th house is always Leo. With Sun as the Lord, you have to check the Sun in the Navamsha horoscope. In Navamsha, the 8th Lord Sun is in Leo itself. I will show. In the birth chart, the Sun is in Scorpio. I will show that also. On the day of the death of her husband on 8th September 1960, Saturn was transiting through Sagittarius, which is the trine 5th house from Leo, occupied by the 8th Lord Sun in the Navamsha. The rule fully applies. Let us see. Where Saturn was transiting? It was transiting in Sagittarius. Please keep it in mind. It is the birth chart. It It is the 7th house. From Ascendant Cancer, Capricorn is the 7th house. And from Capricorn, the 8th house is Leo. Then 8th Lord is Sun. We have to check him in the Navamsha. In Navamsha, Sun is in Leo. So, Navamsha sign of the 8th Lord Sun is Leo. We have to remember. Navamsha sign is Leo and the 8th Lord Sun is also in Leo. Means in his own Navamsha. In birth chart, Sun is in Scorpio. We will not disturb it. We have only identified it. What is this Navamsha sign? It is Leo. We have seen in the Navamsha. And Navamsha sign of the Sun is Leo. Because Sun is in Leo sign in Navamsha. Saturn was transiting through Sagittarius on the day of the death of the husband of Srimati Indira Gandhi. From Leo, Sagittarius is the 5th house. It is a trine house. The Saturn was transiting through the trine and triggered the fatal result pertaining to the 7th house of spouse. Her spouse passed away. Means her husband passed away. In these two examples, we have seen the fatal events only, not adverse. These are all fatal because she lost her mother and husband. These are fatal events. Now come to the third event, shocking event. Third shocking event. Third shocking event. Death of father on 27 May 1964. His father was Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, a freedom fighter and the first Prime Minister of India. The 8th house from the 9th house of father. 9th house is Pisces. For Cancer Lagna, the 9th house is Pisces. The 8th house from the 9th house of father in birth chart of Srimati Indira Gandhi is in the 4th house of Libra. From Pisces, the 4th Libra is the 8th house. Everybody knows. Is in the 4th house of Libra with Venus as the 8th Lord. From the 9th house of Pisces of father, the 8th house is Libra and Saturn and Venus is the 8th Lord. In Navamsha, Venus is in Libra. We have already seen, and Venus herself is the Navamsha Lord of the 8th Lord, Venus from the 9th house of Pisces. In the birth chart, Venus is in Sagittarius. On the day of the death of Jawaharlal Nehru, Saturn was transiting through Aquarius. Please cross-check according to the date. This is 27 May 1964. You will find Saturn in Aquarius. Please cross-check also. Don't believe me. No reason to believe me. Venus is in 9th house. In birth chart, Venus is in Sagittarius. On the day of the death of Jawaharlal Nehru, Saturn was transiting through Aquarius, which is the trine 5th house from the Navamsha sign of Libra, occupied by the 8th Lord Venus from the 9th house of Pisces in the birth chart. the rule fully applies. Let us go back to the birth chart. It is the birth chart. Cancer is the Lagna. From Cancer, the 9th house is always Pisces. Everybody knows. From 9th house Pisces, the 8th house is Libra. And ruler of the 8th house is Venus. We have to check Venus in the Navamsha. For his Navamsha sign only. See, in the Navamsha, Venus is in Libra. We have jotted down Libra is the Navamsha sign of the 8th Lord Venus from the 9th house of Father. In the birth horoscope, Venus is in Sagittarius. Then Libra is the crucial and Sagittarius is the crucial. Anyone, either from the Navamsha sign or the Navamsha Lord, whatever may be, the adverse result will be experienced. Saturn was transiting Aquarius on the day of the death of our father, Sriman Jawaharlal Nehru ji. From Libra, Aquarius is the trine 5th house. Another fatal event took place. We have so far discussed 3 fatal events in a row in one horoscope, in the horoscope of Srimati Indira Gandhi. See the efficacy of the rule. On 23rd February, on 27 May 1964, Saturn was transiting Aquarius. Please cross check. Remaining thing I have shown in the horoscope. Please cross check whether Saturn was transiting in fact in Aquarius on 27 May 1964, the day of the death of Sri Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. Please cross check. Shocking event 4. Death of our second son, Sri Sanjay Gandhi, on 23rd June 1980. It is the 4th shocking and fatal event. The second child is seen from the 7th house, the third from the 5th. 5th house is the house for first child. Second child is 7 because it is third from the 5th. Third house is of our immediate co-born. So 5th house is the house of first child, and 7th house being third from the 5th, it is 7th house is for second child. And Sanjay Gandhi was second child of Srimati Indira Gandhi. Convinced? Death of her second son, Sri Sanjay Gandhi, on 23rd June 1980. The second child is seen from the 7th house, third to the 5th, in the birth chart of Srimati Indira Gandhi, the 8th house from the 7th house of Capricorn. 7th house is our Capricorn. The 8th house from the 7th house of Capricorn is Leo, with the Sun as the 8th Lord. The Sun is in Leo Navamsha, we have already seen, and in the birth chart is in the Scorpio sign, we have seen. On the day of the death of Sri Sanjay Gandhi, Saturn was transiting through Leo. And what it did? It influenced the 8th Lord Sun from the 7th house of Capricorn, of second sun, of second child, and his Navamsha sign also. The fatal event took place. 4th fatal event in a row. I have not missed out any. 4th fatal event in a row. I am smiling. We should not laugh at the fatal events. Fatal events are very shocking. We should not laugh. See, from 5th house, the 7th house is meant for first child. It is Capricorn. From Capricorn, Leo is the 8th house. So you have to consider Sun, the 8th Lord, in the Navamsha. Sun is in Leo. Sun is in Leo. Means Navamsha sign of Sun is Leo, and Sun itself is in Leo. It doesn't matter. Sun is in Leo doesn't matter. It will matter. Sun is actually in Scorpio in the birth chart. That matters. Where Saturn on the day of the death of her second child, Sri Sanjay Gandhi, where Saturn was transiting through Leo. See? Saturn was transiting through Leo. Now the Navamsha sign of the 8th Lord, Navamsha sign of the 8th Lord from the 7th house of second child. Rule fully applied. The rule fully applied and proved its efficacy. 4 fatal events I have shown in a row in one horoscope. What can be done? Sun is in Scorpio. Yes, where it was transiting? From Leo. So 4th fatal event. In this way, you can check when the fatal events pertaining to a particular house signification is going to take place. It may not be fatal event. Don't worry. It is fatal events because of the dosha. Saturn cannot produce result. It can only deliver the result. Saturn is the transit. Saturn cannot produce the result. The results are produced by the dosha system. Mahadasha, Antardasha, Pittantardasha, Suksham Dasha, and Prandasha. They will produce the result. Saturn will deliver it according to his transit position. Otherwise, it will not get delivered. It may end up in an adverse event also, or difficult patch in a life. Always it doesn't culminate into fatal event. But I have shown you may have bad experience pertaining to the signification of a particular house in such a transit. For example, if you examine when the difficult phase in your professional life will come, you can check it accordingly as shown by me. From 10th house, the 8th house is the 5th house. Note down the 5th Lord and then check his Navamsha position. The Navamsha sign, whenever Saturn will transit through the trine houses of that Navamsha sign in the birth chart, the fatal event, adverse event may take place. It may not be fatal event. I don't want fatal event should happen with anybody. Adverse phase, adverse experience will happen. Or influence the Navamsha sign of the 8th Lord or the 8th Lord, Navamsha Lord of the 8th Lord. You will have adverse experience, a difficult phase, difficult patch you will experience. I think I could able to explain properly. I have experimented with this transit rule of Saturn and found that it is very effective with an over 60% accuracy rate. Not 80%, 60%. Rules always doesn't fit into the bill. Sometimes it doesn't give result also, depending on the performance. It is the transit rule, it cannot produce the rule. It cannot produce the result. It can only deliver the result. By a full astrological author, analyst and researcher. Thanks for watching. In case of any doubt, comment me. I will be happy to clarify the doubt, and you can see this video, means tutorial video. It has great academic value. You can revisit this video any number of times you want. It is with narrative. You can read the narrative along with my narration. No problem. You will understand the rule very clearly as explained by me, and I think I am also able to explain it clearly. Thanks for watching.